Ladies and gentlemen, UFC Rio takes place on Saturday, which means we need to go through the main card on this beautiful Tuesday and talk about who's going to win the fight. So, listen, these are not any normal predictions. If you've been with the channel before, you know that Tuesday is when I whip out the Money Manziel MMA criteria. It is not the only thing I will be whipping out if Charles Oliveira wins on Saturday, but that will have to wait and we'll have to see about that. Listen, the criteria, what is it, you ask? Listen, we are predicting fights based on who has more autism between these two people. Listen, we don't care about skill. We don't give a fuck if you're good at fighting or not. If you're more autistic than the other guy, you might win the fight. You probably will win the fight, to be honest with you. Additionally, if I can witness a good TikTok edit made of you after you win, then I'm going to pick you to win. I've seen so many tough Yuri Prohaska edits. You know how many sad Khalil Roundtree edits I've seen? A lot. You're not going to see the warrior Khalil edits. You're going to see the sad ones if he loses, right? That's how you knew Yuri was going to win. Third, IQ. Now, I did not say technically when it comes to skill that you don't have to be smart. We need a smart, intelligent fighter. Corey Sandhagen unfortunately doesn't fit the bill because Marab out autismed him. It's kind of like a hierarchy thing. But we need you to be a smart, not dumb person. Leon Edwards. Yeah. And then finally, plot armor. If you are someone riding a win streak, you think the plot is protecting you, the UFC script is taking you to the finish line, then we're going to go with you. So those are the criteria for making predictions. With that all being said, let's get to the main event, man. Charles Oliveira, Mateusz Gamrot. Listen, Charles Oliveira is coming off that loss late June, not that long ago, versus Ilia Topuria, where he was flatlined out cold. Mateusz Gamrot, on the other hand, I believe it was May in the Apex that he beat Ludovic Klein. I think he might have been, I don't know if he was an underdog, but I felt like the line was pretty close between the two of them. I think a lot of people thought Ludovic Klein would go in there and beat Mateusz Gamrot. Unfortunately for those people, Mateusz Gamrot's a really fucking good wrestler, and he can hold you down when he gets you there. He shoots a lot of takedowns. He shoots them often. The striking is okay. It's serviceable. He can hang with guys on the feet. His chin is very questionable to me. Dan Hooker dropped him. RDA dropped him. And obviously Charles Oliveira is coming off a knockout loss 2 months ago. Which is very concerning for the sake of predicting a fight. However, we do not, here on the Money Manziel MMA channel, we do not give a fuck if you've been knocked out 2 months ago. We're picking Charles Oliveira. Listen, Mateusz Gamrot could never dream of taking a picture this hard in his life. He has had nightmares about Charles Oliveira. He's one of those dudes where, man, listen, Gamrot's going to get him down. And that's good for Charles. We want Charles on the ground. We do not want him getting fluked by Mateusz Gamrot on the feet. That would make everybody and their mother sad. Instead, we want Charles Oliveira to win the fight, get on the post-fight press conference, do his little "Hi, brother."
Hi, brother.
That's what we want. Um, you know, and I hope for the sake of everybody watching that Charles wins because I'm going to get so many sad TikToks if Charles loses. I will say this, and I don't want to be the one to admit this. I'm merely the messenger here. The fact that Charles was willing to take on a completely different style for his replacement fight from Fiziev, and that's something to know, and I'll talk about it Thursday. The fact that he was willing to do that makes me think that he's going to retire. Um, that's kind of a sneaky suspicion. I think he just wants to be on the Rio card. I think if he loses, he's officially out of title contention for the rest of his career. Um, and I think he knows that with a loss, he's done. So I can sense that would be why he would take this fight. Because you got to think, Fiziev is purely going to stand with you. He has grappling ability, but he's not dumb enough to go down into Charles's guard. Mateusz Gamrot is willing to go into your guard. I worry for Charles Oliveira, but listen, man, we're not worried. Listen, we're not judging based off of that. I'm going to see way harder edits for Charles Oliveira than fucking Mateusz Gamrot edits. So we're going Charles here. Co-main event. Davison Figueiredo versus Montel Jackson. Figgy's coming off back-to-back losses versus Corey Sandhagen and Piotr Jan. He beat Chito Vera before that. Montel Jackson's coming off a win versus Daniel Marcos, which was a really boring decision, kind of confusing fight. A KO over Damon Blackshear, a KO over Ronnie Yaya. This kid's got a devastating left hand. He doesn't throw it all the time, which tends to put him in kind of bad positions, especially in the Marcos fight. I think a lot of people who are just kind of outright, betting on Montel Jackson at minus 320 have not seen the Daniel Marcos fight, and rather they've just, I don't know, they've kind of looked at the Damon Blackshear fight and they're thinking to themselves, "Oh shit, like this guy's got devastating power. Figgy's chin has struggled as of late. Figgy's washed, all that kind of stuff." Um, in my opinion, because we're doing the Money Manziel criteria and it's not an actual prediction video, I'm going Figgy. Listen, people forget, man. Look what he did to Rob Font, Cheeto Vera. He's a marauder. This guy. Just moves forward, man. He and Figueiredo invented the calf kick. He probably wears a steel tie cup. He wants to fight on a fucking football field. Whatever other bullshit Joe Rogan says. Um, I think Figgy wins this, dude. I think plus solely because plus 240 is an insane line for Figueiredo versus Montel Jackson. Montel Jackson threw maybe 20 strikes the entirety of the Daniel Marcos fight and was just looking to clinch. It was a really bizarre performance. I don't know what was going on with him that was why that was the way he fought. If he comes out fighting like that, Figgy's gonna knock him out. Because Figgy's power is translated, in my opinion. Even though I mean, it's not like he's knocked a bunch of people out, but he hurt Rob Font, hurt Piotr Jan in a moment. Um, I would be kind of surprised if Figgy didn't win. I think plus 240. I think that line is going to shrink by the time the actual fight. I think we're going to get that more at plus 195 would be my guess. We'll have to see what that line finishes at. Maybe it gets way wider. I have no clue. I'm going to take Figgy just for the bit. And plus, it would be cool to see him win. Again, if we're going off of autism, Figueiredo is an incredible amount of autism. Brendan Moreno cry baby. Like the fucking these guys who don't know English, they just learn like a little line rehearsed before the press conference. Shout out Figgy, man. I hope Figgy wins this fight. I'm gonna pick him because I hope he wins. Man, listen, I can't pretend to not know who's gonna win this fight, and I can't listen in respect to the sport of MMA. If Vicente Luque beats Joel Alvarez on Saturday, our sport is lost. My hope in humanity has been lost. I will not cry, actually. I'd be happy if Luque won. But the world will not make sense anymore. Bombs will be dropped in Spain if Joel Alvarez loses to this washed guy. Listen, I don't need a breakdown. This is literally the hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby fucking graphic. It's been a while for Alvarez. He's up a weight class now. We'll see how big he looks still. Um, but yeah, man, Joel Alvarez is so well rounded. It would be interesting to see him in the grappling if Luque tries to get him down. You could see a couple of exchanges where maybe he can find something, but the line seems about right. Joel Alvarez should be a huge favorite here. He's way better than Vicente Luque everywhere. Only thing is power, and Alvarez has been knocked out before. Although one of them's a TKO, so I don't think much of that. Maybe Luque has a shot, but Luque got fucking, he got dropped and hurt bad versus Holland, and then submitted with his own choke. Very unfortunate stuff. Yeah, man, I don't have much of a breakdown for this. Like Joel Alvarez is gonna win. Kind of simple as that. Like I don't know what else to say, dude. Fucking listen, man. I'll be honest with you. In the same way that like I once claimed famously that Ian Gary would be prime George St. Pierre, I think Joel Alvarez right now. Oh man, this is gonna be crazy to say. I think Joel Alvarez loses to Colby Covington. Um, I don't have a rationale behind why he would lose to Colby Covington. I will say this though. Drakkar Klose took him down, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Drakkar Klose took him down. If that is the case, and you can fact check me all you want, I believe that Joel Alvarez would lose to Colby Covington in his prime. Because he gets held down in fights. Arman Sarukian controlled him bad. We treat all these people because they knock out Drakkar Klose and fucking Elvis Brenner. Congratulations, you beat Elvis Brenner. Who hasn't beat Elvis Brenner other than dogshit Garam Kudaledze? You know what I mean? I listen. I think Joel Alvarez is gonna go and beat Vicente Luque, no problem. I think that he would struggle with modern day Colby Covington. It is what it is. Debate a wall. I think he loses to Colby Covington. Let's keep it moving. Janata Deniz and Mario Pinto. This is the last of the fights on the main card that I know anything about. You're gonna get ready for a lot of fucking yapping in about a minute or two. Janata Deniz is coming off the win versus Alvin Goosey Hines, who is now suspended for steroids, I believe. And Pinto is coming off that win against Austin Lane, where he was knocked down, hurt early, and then came back and literally fucking killed Austin Lane in the ring. Who am I going to pick to win this fight? It's very tricky. I'm going Mario Pinto here, man. Listen, you know, Mario. I like a Portuguese fighter from time to time. I like the aura of the place that Ronaldo's from. You know, solely because I'm hate watching Jonathan Deniz because he sold my fucking parlay. I had the under 2.5 in him versus Alvin Hines, and he couldn't finish a fucking fat bald guy on short notice. Um, just because of selling my parlay, you're on the fucking ban list, Janata Deniz. I don't give a fuck if he becomes champion. I'm never speaking well of this guy again. Absolutely lost me $200 because he couldn't fucking finish Alvin Hines and gassed and lost the third round, arguably lost the fight. Um, fucking unbelievable stuff from Janata Deniz. It is what it is. I mean, disrespectful at the end of the day. So, fucking, we'll pick Mario Pinto. I don't really care. We'll go with you. Ricardo Ramos and Con Offley. Listen, these are two guys. These are marauders. These are grizzled vets of the game. I know so much about both of these guys. Ricardo Ramos had like that spinning elbow that one time. I think Lerone Murphy finished Ricardo Ramos, if I'm not mistaken. If that is true, then fucking retire. Um, but Con Offley lost to Myron Santos. He lost to Muhammad Naimov, I believe, in his last fight. It might have been Bogdan. I don't remember which one. Um, Listen, these are two really veterans of the game. I'm just going Ricardo Ramos. Ignore the text on the screen. I know a lot about this guy. He really, you can tell by the tattoos. Solid striker, pretty good BJJ. Does a little bit of everything. Typical Brazilian fighting style, really. How do you not know about Ricardo Ramos? What's the question? Yeah, yeah, we love Ricardo Ramos. All of our hardcore fans know Ricardo Ramos. I don't know anything about Ricardo Ramos, guys. We're gonna keep it moving here. Next up, final fight on the main card that we're going over: Lucas Almeida and Michael Aswell. Lucas Almeida lost his last fight to Danny Silva, way closer than I thought it was going to be. I'm very high on Danny Silva, and that was too close. He then also got KO'd by Andre Fili, which is interesting because I don't think of Andre Fili as some guy with like insane power, but fucking yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But that being said, listen, in the channel we're a big fan of Benoit Saint-Denis here. Michael Aswell is going to be taking after his idol Benoit Saint-Denis. He is ready to murk an innocent man in his own country. Michael Aswell was inspired by what Benoit Saint-Denis was doing in Africa in 2018. He will be doing the same to Lucas Almeida in Brazil on Saturday. Obviously hypothetically and in GTA, he will be murking this guy. His idol, he does look a lot like fucking Benoit Saint-Denis, by the way. I don't know if anyone else has said this, but it's pretty close. Maybe just because he's a beard and fucking brown hair. But, it is what it is. I'm going Michael Aswell. He lost to Balaji Oki in a fight that I think you could argue he won. I thought the Bisping had a bet on Oki, so he was glazing the entire time, but it was a very close fight. I fuck with Michael Aswell's style. He does not hit that hard. It'll probably be a close decision, but I bet he beats Lucas Almeida. There's a reason he's a favorite here. So, listen, boys, that'll do it for the video. We got Contender Series tonight. Hope you guys tune in. I think more people should watch, man. They might not all be UFC ready guys, but it's fun. There's always finishes. That dude that fucking, I don't know, like the John Pork fucking TikToks he's fighting tonight. I don't know how the fuck you say his name. It's a lot of vowels, one of those types. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy that. I'll be back tomorrow with some bullshit. I don't know what I'll do. Fucking, I don't know. Maybe I'll match up each of the next champions. That actually is a great idea. I should have kept that to myself. Probably will do that tomorrow. Let me know if you have any ideas for me because fucking I'm out. But yeah, then Thursday we got the actual predictions. Friday I'll post some nonsense. Then Saturday we got fights, man. I'm super excited for Charles and Gamrot. I'm a little scared for Charles realistically because he might just sit on bottom for 25 minutes. But let's hope that doesn't happen. I'll see you boys in the next one. My TikTok is at MoneyManziel MMA. I post on YouTube Shorts every single day. TikTok every single day, or I try to at least. Sometimes I mess up. But I'll see you in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe down below. I'm almost at 200 subs now, which is pretty fucking crazy for the short amount of time we've been doing this. But I'll see you guys next time. Hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.